Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're looking at the L322. The issue we have is the driver's side door handle. When you grab it, nothing happens. Will not open. It does open from the inside. If you go the inside, it will open. But from the outside, and the handle is just free. It's not even connected to anything. So we'll take a look at that. We'll go ahead and remove the door panel and see what's going on inside the door. So to remove the inner door panel on an L322, there's just a few tools you're going to need. Some type of a flathead screwdriver to insert in here. There's a button. Normally that doesn't fall out. It does have a plastic insert to hold it in, but this one's been taken off a few times, so it fell out. Anyhow, so you'll have to remove that. There's a screw behind it. That's a T30 Torx screw. And if you look by the handle, in here, there's also a T20 screw. There's a T20 screw here at the bottom. And there's another one here. So we'll go ahead and get that loose, a T30 screw here. And then we'll move on to the next step. Now, once you have all the screws off, the rest of the door panel itself is pretty much snap-in. So you're going to need some type of a tool. I have a door panel tool. This is a Matco one. You can use a screwdriver if you don't have something like this. This just makes it easier to pry. Pry tool, you want to insert it at the bottom. You can use a rag if you don't want to scratch up the paint. And kind of give it a pull all the way at the bottom here. And the door panel will release just like so. So it's all loose at the bottom. You can see through the bottom. It's just push pins that lock it in at the bottom here. So once you have all those unlocked, just by pulling it out, you should be able to release the door panel from the door. Now it's just a matter of pulling it up, making sure you have all the door pins released from all sides. You can hear them unsnapping as you pull on them, and those will release. Next thing you want to do is up top here, you want to pull that away. There's clips here. So this metal bar with the seal for the window is not part of the door panel. The door panel actually is a separate piece from that, and it will unclip from these clips once you pull it apart towards the inside, from the inside of the vehicle. And you can kind of see the door panel is just hanging now. Not a good thing. It's actually just hanging off the wires in the back. So we'll just be unplugging everything from behind the door to get the door panel completely removed from the door. It's useful to have something at the bottom to support the door panel. I'm using a stool. Because now the only thing holding it is the wires, and of course the door latch cable, which unhooked itself. That's what's hooked up to here. That also needs to be unhooked. Mine, once I pulled the door panel, it kind of unplugged itself. Basically what locks it in is this tab here. If you have to, it doesn't come unplugged. Take a screwdriver and push this out this way. It unhooks and the whole thing unplugs right out of there. So you kind of want to support it at the bottom while you're unhooking everything. So you have a few wires to unplug. There's speaker wires, and there's wires going to the master window switch here. And they're fairly easy to unhook. This is a BMW system, mostly on this particular truck. So all you're doing is pushing that in and unlocking this tab backwards this way, and that releases just like that. And same thing with all the other connectors just about behind here. My apologies for kind of a bad picture here, but I'm behind the door panel. But you want to pretty much unplug everything that's going to the door panel, including the speaker and the master switch. It's a styrofoam cover, silencer type of a cover that's glued onto the door. And just pull that away and you have access to the door itself. Now at this point I had the window down, so I will have to have the window up. So that's why I've left everything kind of, at least the master switch, plugged in. I'll plug this back in so I can put the window back up, and I can see what's going on with the door handle. And here's the issue that we found. So if you look here, this is where the exterior handle is, right on the outside here. And we're looking at the inside of that exterior handle. So if I pull on that handle, you can see that mechanism move. So if you look right here, this is the cable that's supposed to get pulled when you're working that handle. Working meaning pulling it, and it's supposed to pull on that cable. So you can see the end of that cable. There's supposed to be a button there, and so that cable is broken is what the issue is here. We'll have to replace that cable on it. That cable runs through here. It locks into the handle here. We can go ahead and pull that out. As you can see, I've just unlocked it. This is the end of that cable. It's supposed to be something to hang on to the handle here. That's broken. The door latch side. So if you push this up, you can see where that cable ends up. So originally the cable is this way. So if you, instead of this, if you push this tab up and unlock it here and pull that cable through this way, it'll unlock it from there. So that's unlocked from the latch here. Okay, now the cable's held in here. There's a tab here that's holding the whole cable in. All you need to do is take your thumb and push that out just like that. So these ridges in here, they lock into that open end here. Once you have it on there, you push it on and it locks into that. So if you push it out that way, it unlocks off of that. Now we pretty much have it removed from both ends. We got it removed from these tabs here. So we should be able to completely and there's that broken cable. So here's our new cable to the door for the door handle. Now there's three different ones in that door. There's one obviously for the outside door handle, inside door handle, and there's another one for the door lock itself. So when you order it, I'll leave a link for this part for the exterior door handle in the description. So again, when you do receive them, you want to make sure it's the same cable lengthwise, and you want to make sure the ends match up to what you had. Obviously we had one broken end on ours. But lengthwise it's the same. This is the correct cable for the outside door handle. Again, I will leave a link for this in the description. But let's go ahead and put this in the truck. You can do it either way. You can install the end on the latch first, or the door handle latch first. So I have it on the end here going into the latch. Kind of hard to see. I'll try to get the best pictures I can. So what we're trying to do, this is the latch the cable attaches to, and then the plastic end of which is this white end on this cable, will lock into this tab here. So what you want to do is you want to take the end of the cable and fish it into that latch and pull it straight, and then get that plastic piece. So as you can see, I have this locked here, and this is pushed into this latch piece here. Once you pull the cable on the other end, this will lock into it here. So you just want to make sure this is pushed in and locked good enough here. Now let's go look at the handle part and see if we can attach it here. You want to go ahead and route it where it was originally. There's two tabs here. There's one here, one here. So this cable will go right in between these, and that's where it rests. So once you have the cable end hooked up to the door itself, which is here, that tab, this one happens to be white, the original was black, but that doesn't matter, it's the same shape. There's two ridges here, two knobs that it rests on, and you can actually take a screwdriver and push it in, and it will lock in. Once that's in, you can test the function of it by pulling the door handle, and you can see that's working. So if you have to, you could grab a big pliers and squeeze it together just so it locks into this piece here, and make sure this cable stays where it's supposed to be. And then rest of it just gets routed. There's a bar here, two clips here, and then it bends around through the top. That's going to be kind of hard to get, but there is a hook, a plastic hook, as you can see right behind that handle. Let me see if I can point that out. You can see that hook right here. I just make sure that cable goes behind that hook. Otherwise, if you don't, so when you close the door, your cable will rattle up against the door. So you want to make sure that's secured in there. It's not moving around. As you slam the door shut or open the door. That's all that's really to it. So I got this end and the other end secured. Let's close the door. So door is closed. Let's see if it works. Perfect. Looks like we are back in business. That seemed to be a fairly easy job to do. It takes longer to take the door panel apart and put it back on than to do the actual job. So let's go ahead and put the styrofoam cover and then the door panel back on. While you have the door panel apart, this is a good time to lubricate all your moving parts in the door handle. I have some silicone spray here, so we'll lubricate it and work it for a little bit. We'll do the door hinges, all the moving parts that you can see, the door latch inside. And then we'll go ahead and open and close it a few times and make sure everything works freely. We'll make sure our cable is intact where it's supposed to be. It stays where it should be. And we'll go ahead and close this door up. Before you put the door panel back on, you want to make sure all your pins are on. I had a couple broken ones, so I ended up replacing them. And also you want to make sure you plug in all your connectors for your master door switch or the window switch. There's a total of 7 connectors. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 on the master switch. There's one on the speaker. There's one here. Okay. And there's one for your puddle light at the bottom. So that's the wiring you have here. You want to make sure everything gets plugged. And obviously you don't want to forget your interior door handle. The way that works, it just slides right in. There's a tab in the back of it. You can see it here. That's what locks it in. So when you put the door handle in, you want to just slide that right in here, and that tab locks right in here. So you push it, so you slide it here and push it right back. And once you have all your connections made, you want to just go ahead and hang the door, or hang the door panel right onto the door. Now on mine, this insulator, they had that sticky stuff behind it that was pretty much gone, so I ended up taping it with some aluminum tape, creating a good seal. So let's go ahead and put this door panel back on. Have our door panel back on. Remember, there's one screw here, T30. There's one here, right in between the handle here. And you want to check your handle, make sure that's all linked. There's 2 screws here. The longer screws are here. I believe they were T20 or T15, what have you. Anyhow, the shorter screws here, the 2 longer are at the bottom. That's the only screws that are on here. So we got those back in. You want to check the function again, make sure everything's linked. Our main problem was the door. That seems to work fine. You want to check the window switches, make sure everything's connected. And obviously you want to check the handle from the inside, make sure that opens. So the last thing that we got to do is remember this button that's here. That goes right in here. Now I'd suggest, this vehicle had white interior, I'd suggest wearing some gloves. It gets a bit dirty from handling it. but obviously you can clean it afterwards. Other than that, everything went well. All the parts will be in the description. Please check that. Stay tuned for more stuff. We'll be doing a lot more services to these L322. Thank you for watching.